What if I told you that the most important thing I learned about sleep during my 25 years in the military isn't what you think? In fact, it's something so counterintuitive that most sleep experts never mention it. Welcome to Golden Age Secrets. I'm Mike Thompson, former U.S. Army Ranger with over 2 decades of service. And today, I'm going to share something that changed my life and the lives of hundreds of veterans I've worked with. Sleep problems aren't just annoying, they're literally killing us. Poor sleep is linked to heart disease, diabetes, depression, and even early onset dementia. And if you're over 60 like me, you know that getting good sleep becomes harder every year. In the next 20 minutes, I'm going to share every technique I've learned from military sleep training, combat zones, and years of research specifically for older adults. The most crucial revelation comes at the end, so stay with me. These aren't just theories. These are battle-tested methods I've personally used and taught to veterans struggling with sleep issues far worse than most civilians ever experience. And if these techniques work for combat veterans with PTSD, they'll work for you. Before we begin, please like this video, share it with someone who might need better sleep, and subscribe to the Golden Age Secrets channel on YouTube so you don't miss any of our life-changing content designed specifically for seniors who want to live their best lives. Let me start with something surprising. In the military, especially in special operations, we view sleep as a tactical resource, not a luxury. When you're in combat situations, your life and the lives of your team depend on your mental clarity. That's why the military has invested millions in researching optimal sleep methods. But here's the thing. The techniques that work for 20-year-old soldiers often need adaptation for those of us with a few more miles on the odometer. First, let's understand what's happening as we age. After 60, our sleep architecture changes dramatically. We produce less melatonin naturally. Our circadian rhythm shifts earlier. We spend less time in deep sleep stages, and we wake up more frequently during the night. All of this is normal, but it doesn't mean we have to accept poor sleep as inevitable. In fact, with the right approach, many seniors can sleep better than they did in their 40s and 50s, when stress and busy schedules wreaked havoc on their rest. Now, let's get into the techniques, starting with what I call the military sleep environment protocol. In the field, we learn to sleep in terrible conditions, from freezing mountains to scorching deserts, often with combat going on around us. Here's what I learned about creating the optimal sleep environment for seniors. First, temperature is crucial. The ideal sleep temperature for older adults is slightly warmer than for younger people, about 68 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Your body temperature naturally drops during sleep, and as we age, our circulation often decreases. Having slightly warmer air around you prevents the discomfort of cold extremities that can wake you up. Second, darkness is non-negotiable. In combat, we'd use whatever we could, t-shirts, jackets, to block out light. At home, invest in blackout curtains and eliminate all sources of blue light. That means no digital clocks, no charging phones, and absolutely no TV in the bedroom. Even the tiny LED indicator on your TV or smoke detector can disrupt melatonin production. Third, sound control. Many seniors develop more sensitive hearing for certain frequencies while losing others. Use a white noise machine, or better yet, a pink noise machine, which has been shown in studies to be more effective for older adults. The consistent background noise masks the sudden changes in ambient sound that often jolt us awake. Fourth, your mattress and pillow. As a ranger, I learned to sleep on rock and dirt, but that doesn't mean I recommend it. As we age, pressure points become more sensitive. Memory foam mattresses or toppers can provide relief for arthritic joints. And don't underestimate the importance of pillow height. It should keep your neck aligned with your spine based on your sleeping position. Now let's talk about the pre-sleep ritual. In the military, we developed routines for everything because consistency builds efficiency. Your pre-sleep routine signals to your brain that it's time to power down. Start your wind-down process at the same time every night, ideally 90 minutes before bedtime. This isn't just about comfort. It's based on neuroscience. Your brain needs time to transition from active alertness to sleep readiness. First step is to cut off all screen time at least 60 minutes before bed. The blue light from screens tells your brain it's still daytime, suppressing melatonin production. If you must use a device, use blue light blocking glasses. They're not just a gimmick, they actually work. Next, I recommend a warm shower or bath. The slight drop in body temperature after you get out mimics the natural temperature drop that triggers sleep. For maximum effectiveness, time it about 60 to 90 minutes before bed. Then, prepare your mind with what we called in the military a brain dump. Keep a notepad by your bed and write down anything on your mind. Tasks for tomorrow, worries, ideas. Get them out of your head and onto paper. Your brain is designed to remember uncompleted tasks, which can keep you awake. Writing them down gives your brain permission to let go. One specific technique we used in high-stress combat situations was the 4-7-8 breathing method. Here's how it works. Inhale quietly through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold your breath for 7 seconds. Then exhale completely through your mouth for 8 seconds. This acts like a natural tranquilizer for your nervous system. Do this 4 times when you first get into bed. Now, let's discuss nutrition and sleep. Something rarely talked about for seniors specifically. What you eat and when you eat it dramatically impacts sleep quality, especially as our digestion changes with age. Avoid all caffeine after noon. As we age, our bodies metabolize caffeine more slowly. That afternoon, coffee can still be in your system at bedtime, even if you don't feel wired. Skip the nightcap. Many older adults use alcohol to help them fall asleep, but it's a trap. While alcohol might help you fall asleep initially, it prevents REM sleep and deep sleep, leading to fragmented, poor quality rest. You might sleep for 8 hours, but wake up feeling like you got 4. Instead, try my military sleep elixir, a small glass of tart cherry juice and a handful of walnuts about an hour before bed. Tart cherries are one of the few natural sources of melatonin, and walnuts contain the amino acid tryptophan, which helps your body produce serotonin and melatonin naturally. Timing matters too. Eat your final meal at least 3 hours before bedtime. As we age, our digestion slows, and lying down with a full stomach can lead to acid reflux or indigestion that disrupts sleep. If night hunger is an issue, a small protein snack like a tablespoon of almond butter can stabilize blood sugar through the night. Fluctuating blood sugar is a common cause of middle-of-the-night awakening, especially for seniors. Now, let's address one of the biggest sleep disruptors for seniors, nocturia, or waking up to use the bathroom. In combat, we learned to manage our hydration precisely to minimize nighttime disturbances. Front-load your hydration. Drink most of your water earlier in the day and begin tapering off about 3 hours before bedtime. Don't restrict fluids entirely. Dehydration causes poor sleep too, but reduce them. If you take diuretic medications for blood pressure or other conditions, talk to your doctor about taking them earlier in the day rather than in the evening. When you do have to get up at night, keep the lights as dim as possible. Bright light, especially bathroom lights, can signal your brain that it's morning, making it harder to fall back asleep. Use night lights with amber or red bulbs, which have minimal impact on melatonin. Let's talk about exercise and its impact on sleep. In the military, we knew that physical fatigue contributed to better sleep, but the timing and type of exercise matter tremendously for seniors. For optimal sleep, exercise earlier in the day, morning, is ideal. Vigorous exercise too close to bedtime can be stimulating rather than relaxing. However, gentle stretching or yoga in the evening can help release physical tension that builds up during the day. Focus on exercises that help counteract the physical issues that often disrupt senior sleep. Core and back strengthening can reduce back pain. Gentle shoulder and neck stretches can release tension that causes discomfort at night. One simple exercise from military training is what we call standing forward drops. Stand straight, take a deep breath, then as you exhale, slowly roll your upper body down, one vertebra at a time, letting your arms and head hang heavy. Hold for 30 seconds, focusing on releasing tension in your back and shoulders, then slowly roll back up. Do this 3 times before bed to release the day's physical stress. Now, I want to address a major issue many seniors face: sleep anxiety. The more you worry about not sleeping, the harder it becomes to sleep. This creates a vicious cycle that's particularly challenging for older adults. In the military, we faced extreme pressure situations where failure to sleep meant compromised performance in life or death situations. Here's what I learned that applies to seniors dealing with sleep anxiety. First, embrace sleep windows. These are periods when your body's natural circadian rhythm makes you most amenable to falling asleep. For most seniors, this window opens earlier than it did when you were younger. Don't fight it. If you feel sleepy at 8 or 9 p.m., that's your body's natural sleep window. Use it. Second, if you can't fall asleep within 20 minutes, get up. Don't lie in bed watching the clock and building anxiety. Go to another room, keep the lights dim, and do something relaxing and non-stimulating, like reading a physical book, not an e-reader. Return to bed only when you feel sleepy again. Third, practice what military psychologists taught us: thought replacement. When anxious thoughts about sleep arise, acknowledge them briefly, then deliberately replace them with a different thought. I use the visualization of a peaceful fishing trip, imagining every detail from the feel of the rod to the sound of water. Find your own peaceful scene and make it detailed. For those struggling with more serious insomnia, there's the military-adapted sleep restriction technique. This temporarily reduces your time in bed to match your actual sleep time, creating a mild sleep deprivation that helps consolidate your sleep. For example, if you're in bed for 8 hours but only sleeping 5, limit your time in bed to 5.5 hours initially, and then gradually extend it as your sleep efficiency improves. This should be done under healthcare guidance, especially for seniors. Now, let's discuss medication and supplements, a topic particularly relevant to seniors who may be taking multiple prescriptions that affect sleep. First, review all your medications with your doctor specifically for sleep impacts. Many common medications for heart conditions, pain, and other issues can disrupt sleep as a side effect. Sometimes, simply changing when you take them can make a difference. For supplements, be selective and cautious. The ones with the strongest evidence for seniors are melatonin. Start with just 0.5 to 1 milligram, which is lower than most commercial products. Magnesium glycinate, which helps muscle relaxation and has a calming effect. And L-theanine, an amino acid that promotes relaxation without drowsiness. Avoid relying on over-the-counter sleep aids containing diphenhydramine, like Benadryl or Zezquil. These medications can cause confusion, dry mouth, and even potential cognitive issues in seniors when used regularly. Now, I'd like to address a special situation many of you may relate to: sleeping alongside a partner who snores, moves frequently, or has different sleep habits. In the military, we often slept in close quarters with others and had to adapt. Consider separate blankets, even in the same bed. This prevents disruption from your partner's movements and accommodates different temperature preferences. If snoring is the issue, don't suffer in silence. Snoring can indicate sleep apnea, which is more common as we age and can have serious health consequences if untreated. Encourage your partner to talk to their doctor. For some couples, separate bedrooms might be the answer. This doesn't reflect on your relationship, it's about health. Many couples find that sleeping separately actually improves their relationship because both partners are better rested and less irritable. Let me address another challenge: pain and discomfort at night. Whether it's arthritis, back pain, or other chronic conditions, pain significantly impacts sleep quality for many seniors. In the Rangers, we develop techniques to manage pain without always relying on medication. Try applying heat to painful areas about 20 minutes before bed to relax muscles and increase blood flow. For joints that are more inflammatory, like arthritic knees, cold therapy might work better. Your sleeping position matters tremendously when dealing with pain. For back pain, try placing a pillow between your knees when sleeping on your side or under your knees when on your back. For shoulder pain, hugging a pillow can provide support and reduce pressure. Cognitive techniques can help too. We used a technique called body scanning, where you mentally focus on each part of your body, consciously relaxing it before moving to the next area. Start at your toes and work up to your head, spending about 10 seconds on each body part. Now, we're approaching what I consider the most important insight about sleep for seniors, but before I share that, let me address one more critical topic: how to handle waking up in the middle of the night, which becomes increasingly common as we age. The worst thing you can do is check the time repeatedly. Turn your clock away from your bed or cover it. Knowing it's 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. only creates anxiety about how much sleep you're missing. If anxious thoughts start racing, use the military brain dump technique I mentioned earlier. Keep that notepad handy and write down whatever is on your mind. Practice the combat breathing technique. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold for 4. Repeat until you feel your body relaxing. Remember that some night waking is normal, especially for seniors. Instead of fighting it, accept it as part of your sleep pattern. Often, simply removing the anxiety about being awake helps you fall back asleep faster. And now, I'd like to share what I believe is the most important insight about sleep that I learned during my military career. Something that changed everything for me and countless veterans I've worked with. Here it is. The key to good sleep isn't what you do at night. It's what you do when you first wake up in the morning. That's right. The most crucial factor in improving sleep quality for seniors is establishing a consistent morning wake-up routine that resets your circadian rhythm. In the military, we'd wake at the same time regardless of how little sleep we got. This wasn't just discipline. It was based on the science of our body's internal clock. Here's what to do. Set your wake-up time and stick to it 7 days a week, even weekends, even if you had a bad night. Within 15 minutes of waking, expose yourself to bright light for at least 10 to 15 minutes. Natural sunlight is best, but a light therapy box works during dark winter months. Then engage in some form of movement, even if it's just stretching or a short walk. Movement signals to your body that it's definitely time to be awake. Finally, don't eat immediately upon waking. Wait at least 30 minutes. This helps regulate certain hormones that influence your sleep-wake cycle. This morning routine anchors your circadian rhythm, making it easier to fall asleep at night because your body has a clear delineation between day and night. The reason this is so crucial for seniors is that our circadian rhythm naturally weakens with age. By strengthening it through consistent morning cues, you can counteract many age-related sleep problems. I've seen this work for veterans with severe PTSD, shift workers with completely disrupted sleep patterns, and countless seniors who thought good sleep was behind them. The morning routine is the foundation everything else builds upon. Let me summarize the key points we've covered. Create an optimal sleep environment with proper temperature, darkness, and sound control. Establish a pre-sleep ritual that includes the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Manage your nutrition and hydration with sleep in mind. Exercise earlier in the day and do gentle stretching before bed. Address sleep anxiety through thought replacement and sleep windows. Review medications and use supplements cautiously. Adapt to partner disturbances with practical solutions. Manage pain through proper positioning and relaxation techniques. And most importantly, maintain a consistent morning wake-up routine to anchor your circadian rhythm. Remember, good sleep isn't a luxury. It's a necessity for your health, cognition, and quality of life. As seniors, we may need to work a bit harder for it, but the rewards are immense. I hope these battle-tested techniques help you reclaim the restful nights you deserve. If you found this information valuable, please support the Golden Age Secrets channel by liking this video, sharing it with others who might benefit, and subscribing for more content designed specifically for seniors who want to live their best lives. Thank you for your time today. This is Mike Thompson signing off. Sleep well, and I'll see you in the next video.